Hi guys, Louis back again. So I've just done this topic on defending, on Elvis Presley fan on keto, but it's such an important topic. I wanted to quickly read it out and post it on our Defending Elvis channel because this is a defending topic, really. So I'm going to rush through it. Obviously, if you want to go and watch it, it's over on the Keto channel. We went live on it. But here goes. I've posted it on Facebook. This is a new thing I'm doing now. Anything that I'm reading out is getting posted on Facebook, and then I read it out on YouTube. I like that system. It gives me something to follow. Yeah. So this guy, Blanchard Tool, I don't know what the right way of saying his name is, Blanchard Tool. He's known as a hero that saved Elvis, that pushed Colonel Tom Parker out, that broke the Colonel Tom Parker 50-50 deal. Yeah. And I don't think he's given enough credit. I think a lot of us fans that do some research, that do a bit of a deep dive, we know about Blanchard Tool. And this post, I keep seeing it posted everywhere. Let me just show it you and read it to you. This is everywhere, isn't it, guys? This is the guy you need to thank for Graceland being opened to the public. Blanchard Tool. He was appointed by the probate court to look after Lisa Marie's interests. He investigated and revealed Colonel Parker's self-dealing in his management of Elvis's career from the beginning, and then asked the courts to oust him from all estate dealings and forced him to negotiate for the estate to obtain Parker's 2 warehouses full of well-preserved and catalogued items from the length of Elvis's career. Parker threw away nothing, and because of this, the estate acquired enough to fill the museums that we get to visit today. The city of Memphis proposed opening Graceland as a museum, and they were working on financing when Vernon died. So that wasn't some brilliant idea of Priscilla's, and both Vernon and Priscilla have renewed Parker's contract to manage the estate at his usual 50% fee. Blanchard Tool put an end to that. So I think it's known that Vernon wanted Colonel Tom Parker to carry on managing everything, and so did Priscilla. I think it's known that Priscilla quite liked Colonel Tom Parker. Some even say it's because of Colonel Tom Parker that Elvis married Priscilla. So I don't know if that's true, but I do know they got on very well, Priscilla and Colonel Tom Parker. So the real story behind Graceland's being saved, Blanchard Tool is a hero. So Priscilla likes to say she saved the day, that Elvis is remembered because of her, that Graceland's wasn't sold off because of her, that the Living Museum was her idea. I don't believe it. Just an opinion for entertainment purposes, not a fact. All of this show is just an opinion-based discussion YouTube channel. But I just don't believe that Priscilla saved the day. I think the fans saved the day. Yeah. And Elvis's voice, Elvis's career, Elvis's body of work saved the day. Yeah. I've always thought that. Yeah. So, of course, this guy has made a difference. It sounds to me like what the decisions he helped make transformed everything concerning Graceland's, concerning Colonel Tom Parker. Let's just read it off, guys. The real story behind Graceland's, Elvis being saved. Blanchard Tool is a hero. Blanchard Tool and the probate court, Colonel Parker, and what really happened. So the probate, after Vernon dies, of course, there is a very complex situation to do with the finances of everything Elvis, including Graceland's, and there needed to be some serious decisions made, some serious management structure. There was still a lot of income, guys. Everyone tries to talk about as if everyone was going bankrupt once Elvis died, once Vernon died. I don't think that's the case. I just think big decisions needed to be done. A lot of money was still coming in, guys. Come on, Elvis was bigger than ever after he died. Yeah. If anything, record sales massively boosted. Yeah. Merchandise sales massively boosted, and many other things. So there was a lot of money flowing in, guys. I personally don't think Elvis was going bankrupt. I don't think, this is just my opinion, I don't think that they were going to break up and sell off Graceland's. Why would they? it was such a cash cow for Memphis, for Shelby. Yeah. Of course, it was going to generate millions and millions of dollars of income for forever. Yeah. So behind the scenes, they'd already been trying to think up ways of creating a living museum, making Graceland into a memorial. It was already at hand, and it is known that Colonel Tom Parker and Vernon and other people were doing tours of Graceland even before Vernon died. Yeah. So no, I don't think it was Priscilla's idea to create a living museum at Graceland. I just think it's a pack of lies. Priscilla likes to tell us, oh yeah, I saved everything. It was all my idea with a bit of help from Jack Sodden. Yeah. I just don't agree. It's just an opinion, not a fact. I just don't agree. I think we're being misled. Yeah. I don't think we're being told exactly what happened. Just an opinion, guys, not a fact. Priscilla saved Graceland. But the real provable historical timeline is far more complex, and the credit is spread across multiple people and institutions. Come on, guys, to create the Living Museum, many very smart people had to come together to do this. It wasn't Priscilla and Jack. You get it? Yes, Jack Sodden made some big decisions. He was a well-known financier in Memphis. He was part of the process. Yeah, and I do think once Priscilla managed to become co-trustee, yes, she made some decisions. She was involved in that process after Vernon died. After. Before that, many other decisions had been made that had nothing to do with Priscilla. Yeah, so when she takes all credit for it, it's not fair. I do think Jack Sodden made some big decisions. He's a smart guy. Yeah. So let's have it. So one of the biggest names that were mentioned are Blanchard E. Toole, the probate attorney, appointed to protect Lisa Marie Presley's interests. This post explains what is true and what is documented and what actually happened. Okay, so we're trying to understand. Okay, guys. Elvis dies in 1977, of course. Vernon is in charge. When Elvis passed away on 16th of August 1977, Vernon Presley became the executor to the estate. At that moment, Colonel Tom Parker still had the contract to manage Elvis's career and estate manage. Vernon trusted Parker and continues working with him. I think this is known, that Parker just carried on. The estate's financial situation was tight, high taxes, high expenses, declining income. There's no way they were going bankrupt. I don't care what anyone says. But there was serious things that needed to be dealt with. Yeah, so I accept that. Vernon was overwhelmed, grieving. No surprise, guys. He was extremely unwell, could hardly breathe. Donna Presley has told us. It felt like every breath could be his last. Of course, he was grief-stricken, of course. He relied heavily on long-time advisors. Priscilla had no legal authority yet, except as Lisa's mother. Right, so the probate court steps in. After Vernon's health declined, which happened very fast, the court required someone independent to represent Lisa Marie's interests. She was only 9. This is where Blanchard Toole comes in. Toole was appointed by the Shelby County Probate Court as Lisa Marie's guardian and ad litem, I can't even say that word, ad litem, meaning he was legally required to investigate whether the estate was being properly managed. Okay, I get that. The investigation into Colonel Tom Parker, what Toole discovered was explosive and fully documented in court filings. So there's actually proof of this, yeah? Parker did have a 50% deal. Now, I've heard it wasn't 50% for everything, but certain parts of the deal were 50%. Colonel Parker was contractually entitled to 50% of Elvis's earnings, even after Elvis's death, a contract originally signed in the 70s, okay? Parker's control over Elvis's business dealings, all bookings, merchandising, royalties, licensing, Parker had enormous control. So, we had self-dealing and conflicts of interest. Toole concluded that Parker had acted in ways that were not in Elvis's best interest, including negotiating deals that benefited himself, poorly structured contracts, excessive commissions. Tool investigation led him to take official action. So Blanchard Tool was shocked. Could you imagine if Blanchard came and restructured the deal with Elvis before he died? The deal was a rip-off. Come on, guys. We, the fans, know that. Yeah? Tool investigates, and it led him to take serious action. The courts oust Parker. So Parker is out. Tool petitioned to probate court to remove Parker from all involvement with the estate, to end the 50% contract, which we know is a joke, to stop further exploitation of Elvis's name, and force Parker to negotiate fairly with the estate. This is not speculation. It is a matter of public record. Okay, guys? The court agreed with Tool's findings. This is why he's a hero, guys. He really did make a difference. Parker was effectively removed. I heard he got a payoff. Was it 1, 2, 3 million? Put it in the comments what you know, guys. His future claims were shut down. This opened the door for the estate to start making decisions independently. Okay? Now, it's known that Colonel Tom Parker had these 2 massive warehouses full of artifacts, Elvis's belongings. During negotiations, the estate obtained access to the 2 massive warehouses. In the warehouse were many things. So we've got costumes, personal belongings, instruments, contracts, memorabilia, documents, stage clothing, artifacts spanning Elvis's entire career. I mean, I'm so glad that Colonel Tom Parker saved all these things, you know, because we need them, don't we, to preserve Elvis's history, and they do make up the body of the living museum at Graceland. So it's really important. I'm glad he was a hoarder, yeah. So these items became the foundation of the modern Graceland Museum. This part is true and provable. Without the warehouse settlement, the estate would not have had enough artifacts to create the museum experience what we see today. Okay, I get it. Yeah. So the opening of Graceland. Now, this is the big thing. Was it Priscilla's idea? I 100% don't think it was. She says it was. She says she saved Graceland, allegedly for entertainment purposes. Just an opinion, not a fact. This is where the historical revisionism often happens. So I would call it a rewriting of history, a reinventing of the truth. Where have we heard that before, guys? The rewriting of history to suit Priscilla. And it's not just on this topic, on many topics. Yeah. Priscilla is the victim that should be hailed as the savior of Elvis, that she is the reason Elvis is remembered. I don't believe it. The fans are the reason. Elvis is the reason. I will always say that. So, documents and newspapers from 1978 and 1979 show that the city approached Vernon Presley before he died. They began discussing funding options. Consultants were already evaluating feasibility. So come on, guys, it was all in hand. They were planning this museum. A name, Morgan Maxfield, comes up. There's a whole story there. Priscilla was allegedly engaged to him. He died in a plane crash. Jack Sodden, who is very well known at Graceland's, at Elvis Presley Enterprises, was his assistant. So Jack Sodden was heavily working on this, the living museum, the idea of Graceland, preserving it as a memorial. Then he has this shock plane crash. And allegedly he was engaged to Priscilla. Is that true? Put it in the comments, guys. And so when this guy dies, you know, God rest his soul, Morgan Maxfield, Jack Sodden is left. And Priscilla, a smart move, I would say, approaches Jack Sodden. I need your help. Do you want to help me? Let's get some people involved. Let's bring some finances in. So I think at this point, I will accept, at this point, Priscilla starts to make big decisions, does make a difference. But leading up to that point, the living museum was already at hand. I would never accept that it was going to get broken up and sold off if it wasn't for Priscilla. I just don't accept it. Yeah. Then it's like when Vernon, where we are, let's have a look. So eventually Priscilla, with other people, a plan gets approved. Jack Sodden becomes a big part of all the decisions. You know, he was a well-known Memphis financier, a very smart man. Yeah. Obviously, he'd been dealing with with Graceland and the Living Museum, the idea of it, and Morgan Maxfield. So he knew, yeah, he knew what he was doing. So, but she did not invent the idea. I would always say it was not Priscilla's idea to do the Living Museum. She tells the world it was. She tells the world she saved Graceland. I don't think so. She tells the world she's the reason Elvis is remembered. I don't think so. I don't agree. The fans are, the Elvis fans are. She was not the primary legal force behind saving Graceland, the probate court and tour war. So obviously Blancard tour, the probate court. So the probate court are trying to sort everything out. Yeah. This is a massive turning point for everything, because once Colonel Tom Parker's out of the way, we're starting to move down the road of creating the Living Museum, sorting out the finances, which, you know, the creation of Elvis Presley Enterprises. You know, there's a lot going on, guys. Not just Priscilla. There are many people involved in this process. Yeah. This is the roots. This is the core of what we now see as Elvis Presley Enterprises. And, you know, obviously we know Graceland was owned by the family. Even that's a complex story, because later 85% of EPE gets sold off. I will always say Elvis Presley Enterprises should never have been sold off, ever. 85% of it. I know 15% is still retained by Riley Keough and the twins eventually, but guys, who knows what went on behind the scenes? Who knows what went on behind the scenes where Lisa Marie Presley went along with that deal? But I'm very concerned about it. I'm worried about it. We need to do a deep dive on why that decision was made, where they sold it to the billionaire Robert Silliman. It should never have happened. Graceland should be owned by the Presleys. Yeah, Elvis Presley Enterprises should be owned by family, blood, not a bunch of businessmen doing speeches on behalf of Elvis and Lisa on birthdays and on candlelight vigils. It just doesn't feel right to me that businessmen are doing these speeches as if they're family members. I'll never be comfortable with that. Joel Weishanger seems like a nice guy. So does Jack Sodden. But come on, guys. Should be family up there, shouldn't it? Anyway, I'd love to see Donna Presley there. I'd love to see Donna Presley welcomed into Graceland at the vigils, at the birthdays, at Christmas. She should be like the queen of Graceland, guys. She's a Presley. She's got Presley blood in her veins. Come on. Instead, we get ex-girlfriends and businessmen. Sorry, guys. Doesn't feel right to me. You know, I know Jerry Shillings was a good friend of Elvis, but come on. He's not family. He's not family. He loved Elvis. Elvis loved him. I know that. But we need blood people, blood relatives of Elvis and Lisa stood on behalf of the Presleys, of the dynasty of Elvis. Yeah. And I think Elvis would want it as well. So, you know, nothing against Joel Weishanger. He seems like a nice guy, you know, and Jack Sodden as well. But she did not invent the idea. Definitely did not. So basically, Tool stops Parker's 50% contract. So let's have a look. Let me just have a look a minute. Tool, however, argued successfully that the deals were unfair and financially abusive and not in Lisa Marie's interests. Thank God. Thank God that that happened. Many people don't even know this happened. So who really saved Graceland? The truth is it was a team effort, not a single person. I agree with that. Blancard Tool obviously deserves to be held as a hero, I think. Then we've got the fact that he investigated Parker. He helped remove Colonel Tom Parker. He tried to protect Lisa Marie Presley's estate. These two warehouses of artifacts were brought back to Graceland. And of course, they are the reason for the museum, aren't they? A big part of it. Ensured the estate could financially stabilize. Obviously, the Living Museum was a massive success, even though I think it was a sure thing, because the fans truly love Elvis. It's the fans that have made everything work. The fans and what Elvis did whilst he was alive. That is why Graceland, even now in 2025, is a massive success. Massive success. So, okay, guys, my wife's trying to ring me. So we'll come to the end of it. The probate court, Shelby County, enforcing Chewell's findings, rejected Parker's contracts, the legal foundation for Graceland to operate independently, the city of Memphis proposed the museum concept, commissioned feasibility reports, encouraged the project to move forward. So this is when it's all happening, isn't it, guys? This is Graceland as we know it today. So Jack Sodden is obviously was executive of Elvis Presley Enterprises. They operated Graceland professionally and turned it into a major attraction. Isn't it the second most major attraction in the world, second to the White House? And then eventually, yeah, Priscilla starts to publicly represent Graceland, and you know, come on, guys, it's a cash cow for Priscilla. Yeah, it really is. She does love it. She loves the whole "I saved Elvis. Elvis is remembered because of me. It's all about me." That's Priscilla for you, guys. Even though she divorced him 4 years before he died, and I'm not happy with how she treated Elvis and Lisa. I'll be straight with you guys. We're very concerned about Priscilla's behavior towards Elvis and Lisa Marie, her own daughter, allegedly for entertainment purposes, not a fact. So the overall thing is, guys, Priscilla did have an involvement after 1979. I'm not going to say she did nothing, because that wouldn't be fair. I want to be fair. She probably made some good decisions as well, but she also made some pretty bad decisions. There's many things Priscilla did concerning EPE Graceland I'm not happy with. Yeah. Things like redecorating, things like selling off 85% of EPE. She was involved in that process. She got some large kickbacks of money, allegedly, you know, large payouts when EPE was sold, 85% of it. When Graceland was rented for 90 odd years to Elvis Presley Enterprises, to the billionaire Robert Fitzsimmons. I'm not happy with all of that. I know people try to blame Lisa, but no. Who was advising Lisa Marie? Priscilla, in my opinion. Just an opinion, not a fact. So there's many things that have gone on that we are not happy with as fans. Okay? I will never accept selling off 85% of EPE was the right thing to do. I think it was a massive mistake. I'd love to undo it. I think even Bridget Cruz in her lawsuit with Priscilla, you know, the elder abuse and all that stuff, you know, the claim for $50 million, even that brings up that there may have been wrongdoing when Elvis Presley Enterprises was sold off. Seriously, guys, go and find the documents, look it up. Yeah. There could have been stuff happening behind the scenes that maybe Lisa Marie didn't even know about when Elvis Presley Enterprises was sold off around 2005. Who knows, guys? A lot of people try to blame Lisa, but there's more to it. There's more to it. And I heard that Priscilla got a massive backhander for the name Presley, for the name Graceland. So who knows? Who knows the truth? We are just, what we say here is just opinion sharing discussion program. Nothing is fact. Okay, guys. So I think we're there. So I'm going to be fair. She did have some involvement, but she was not the reason. It was not her idea. She did not save Elvis, save Graceland. It was, I don't agree with it. So I think Blonde Card Tour is overlooked. Many people don't know how he literally did save the day and push out Colonel Tom Parker. That I think the fans will love the fact that deal was broken, the 50% deal. If Blonde Card Tour hadn't come along, maybe the 50% deal with Colonel Tom Parker would have carried on for decades, because Colonel Tom Parker lived for quite a long time after Elvis died. So he's a hero. He recovered enormous value for the estate. The warehouse helped build the museum that we know today. I believe that the idea of the museum was already in hand, already happening with Shelby County, with Memphis, and the businessmen and the bankers. They were all behind the scenes, and there were already tours happening before Priscilla came along. So no, she does not originate the idea. So the Priscilla saved everything is BS. Is BS, is not true. Okay, so there he is, guys. Can you see his picture? Let's have a look. He's a bit of a hero, isn't he? Let's make his picture bigger. Gotta go, guys. I'm going to upload this. And there is our hero, Blancard Tool. And no, Priscilla did not save Clarissa. She is not the reason Elvis is remembered. It was not her idea to open the Living Museum. Just an opinion, not a fact. For entertainment purposes. Love you guys. Team Elvis, you rock.